So I want to start doing this new thing on the channel where I show you guys a really quick, easy install instead of always some intricate how it works within the dealership. So I got a new sponsor to help me with a install that takes less than an hour. So I would imagine most of you are probably familiar with Ciro 3D. Their website here. They make parts for a lot of motorcycles, but obviously what we're concerned with on this channel is Harley Davidson's, and it seems to me that a lot of their stuff is geared toward the touring market. So we're actually not installing parts on my own 2018 Heritage Softail today. I have picked a buddy that, well, he could use some parts. I'll explain more in a little bit, but you guys know other John that went to Texas with me that helped me to deliver some donated goods to the Panhandle area that we took into the shop. So it just seemed right to hook him up with some cool new motorcycle parts from Ciro 3D. And of course it'll all be linked in the description. For those of you that don't know me, my name is John Maxwell. I'm a highly trained unprofessional right here at Chattanooga Harley Davidson. And on this channel, I bring you guys to work with me. So if you want to learn more about Harley Davidson, you should hit the subscribe button right now. So the bike I picked out for this install is John's 2015 Road Glide Special. Now, the parts that we're doing today are the adjustable highway peg mounts and the twin rail foot pegs. I guess the thing you're supposed to do at this point in the video is unbox them, right? Yeah. That sounds good. Let's do that. I guess first up should be the adjustable highway peg mounts themselves, since, well, the pegs don't do you any good if you don't have anywhere to put them. As you can see, we actually have the chrome version of this. They do make a black too. John's bike, you'll see in a second, is both chrome and black, so we went chrome with this one. I've got all of my like hardware put out together, smaller bolts, shorter bolts rather, pretty bolts, hidden bolts, washers, really tiny little baby things that, God, I really hope I don't lose those. It does come with instructions, and I've actually never installed these, so they do have full color pictures, which, let's be honest, due to the fact that I cannot actually read, this is very helpful. So let's install them. Now, this is far from a difficult install, so I'm probably not gonna like straight up totally walk you through it, but essentially what we're doing is replacing this frontmost floorboard mount with a new floorboard mount that then the foot peg mount will attach to that, and then the foot peg will mount to that. So you don't have to worry about this really nice chopped engine guard that's all nice and sleek. You don't have to put a highway peg there for an extra place to put your foot. You can hang it right off the frame. It's a much stronger place. Keeps the slim look of the engine guard that John's running on his bike. I mean, that's a lot of why I like this mount so much. Anyway, let's kick some music on and yeah, we'll install this thing. Alright, I gotta do something crazy with that little tiny thing that I didn't want to lose. I wonder where I put that. Ah, I see it. Okay, I did find the package of these little itty bitty things. I actually had to really scrounge for the tiniest Allen to use this, but also when I opened the package I lost one of the screws, so we're just gonna carry on with this part and, you know, then we'll do the other. Now once I have both of those installed, I can do the foot pegs, which the instructions are right here on the back. I can't imagine that they're actually too hard to figure out, but you know, if you need those kind of things. When you're unpackaging these, it is really easy to like throw stuff on the ground. Not that I've ever done anything like that, but just keep that in mind. Pretty standard stuff coming in the package here. I would like to point out though that
These splines right here are going to be how you can angle them and lock them in place however you might like the angle to be, which is a nice touch, especially for a set of like more of a mini foot board like this is. It's a peg because it mounts like this, but it's a foot board because its surface area is wide. Yeah, y'all get it. Let's put them on the bike. All right, it just so happens John showed up while I'm looking for the smallest screw known to mankind. I mean, I would need to go to an eyeglass store to find this thing. I don't know where it is, but I did manage to find this. I can't even touch it because I might lose it, but this screw fingernail for comparison.
All right, what if I told you guys that to install the left side is exactly like installing the right side? So, you know, figure we can skip that part of the install. They work just like I want them to though. They feel good. Let me park this thing and I'll give you all the breakdown. I like a lower position mount for the highway pegs anyway, because you can sit like this, really straight-legged. You can sit like this and utilize both the rider floorboard and the highway pegs. I could straight rest my heels on them and get really like knee locked. So truth be told, even when I put highway pegs on, I usually put them kind of low like this. But anybody that's rode any significant long distance knows that, well, just the smallest foot movement around will really help that old butt from getting sore. Alright, let me park. I want to show you all a couple things about these, give you all the lowdown on the install and all that stuff. This is why baggers rule right here. I just took over John's bike pretty much is what happened.
So the install time on this is easily less than 60 minutes, even if you don't have power tools and a lift and all that stuff. It wasn't bad at all, except I lost the screws, so I mean, and had to set up camera, so it took me a little longer. I even ended up finding the screw. Look, see that little baby Allen head on there? The one I found is actually a Phillips head, and it turned out to be easier to install because I can fit a screwdriver in between here much easier than an Allen key that's not actually that long. If that makes sense. So the reason I really bring up the screw or even left it in the video, because I could have easily edited all that out and no one would ever know that I'm a total idiot, is because if you ever find yourself at the tiny screw store, the Phillips head was easier to install. Any round little itty bitty 1/16 Allen, I think the size was. It runs the risk of rounding out and then you're in kind of a mess. So otherwise though, the powder coating, the chrome, all that looks good and it's not all stuck in the threads. I hate unboxing parts and you have to thread chase holes and clean up what should already be clean when you're buying a product at a premium price. And that wasn't a problem. Ciro nailed it. Everything went together just perfect. So A+ in that regard. One thing that you may find trouble with if you're doing this by yourself at home is just the annoying part of like adjusting the left and right side highway pegs to the same angle and everything that's both comfortable for you and that are the same on each side. So you might want a buddy to help you at least during that portion. I usually put highway pegs on with the customer there. John actually had to leave earlier, so he's not here. But I can always move them for him pretty easily. Everything's splined like I showed you the pegs, so all the arms and mounts and everything, you can put it exactly where you want it, which is great because when you have lower fairings or the chopped engine guard like John does, it kind of limits what kind of mounts you can use or where you can put the peg in a lot of cases. So, I mean, and even if you don't have those things, you might still want this type of highway peg mount. You know, I think it's obviously a better choice for somebody that might not be able to use a different version. I think this is the time in the video that you probably want a closer look at the pegs mounted and everything so that you make an educated decision on whether or not you want to set. So that's what they look like up close. If you want to see the product on Ciro's website, the pegs and the mounts are in the description below. So check them out. Let me know what you think of them down in the comments. And just know that I give them a big dirty thumbs up. Speaking of dirty thumbs up, if you like this video, make sure to give it a big dirty thumbs up too. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button, tap the bell notification so that you know when I upload. And if you haven't gotten your fix yet, there's a video here and here. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. God, I really hope I don't lose those. I don't know where I put that. I lost one of the screws. I don't know where it is. I even ended up finding the screw.